And now, please welcome to Little Brother's beauty pageant, Miss Elstree 2005.
No. How can something so wrong feel so right? Last time they make me do that, let me tell you that much for nothing. Hey, my friends, well, day 41, it's 5:29. Just welcome to Big Brother's Little Brother, Little Show Big Picture, or One Eye Show Dogger, Lima Low Copper, Mongozo Makoba, as I love to say in Swahili. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the Ordinary Boys are with us. Well, and Preston, nice to see you. Hello. Got a lot to say. Foot expert Jane Sheehan's with us, everybody. Reveals what the housemates' feet are say about them. And we test the lovely Saskia. We test her on how well she knows Maxwell, but we kick off as we always do. Little Brother's Big News. Oh, angry whip today. 11:49 this morning, after getting frustrated by the amount of food being gobbled by his fellow housemates, Kamal took matters into his own hands. Take a look.
Huh? What up?
Well, people are eating us out of house and home. What am I supposed to do?
We're not going to have any food.
Ooh.
There's no point hiding the food. That's the gamble you chose to talk. There's no point hiding it.
Yeah, that's pretty serious, but even more serious, people. We've got some breaking news. For the first time in 12 days, we can confirm that Orla has been fully clothed for over 7 hours and 40 minutes. Take a look at that now.
That was wearing orange, this t-shirt.
Wicked. Wicked indeed. As it stands, 7 hours, 40 minutes, personal best. And at 3:55 today, Big Brother appointed Maxwell and Science as team captains for a debating task. Craig was, however, more than a little miffed after some tactical picking by his buddy Maxwell. Take a look.
I'm going to pick Derek.
Probably not.
I think I shall pick Craig.
You got any help with me?
No, I ain't got that.
Craig, listen to me. Wait, listen. Don't storm off.
But he hasn't got the hump. Later, at 5:05, Craig was seen having a little cry in the loft. That was Little Brother's Big News. Well, we're into our six weeks of watching The Housemates, but are your week one favourites still your favourites now? With that in mind, today's cool BBLB could only be, which housemate have you changed your mind most about and why? Here's how to get in touch. You can call BBLB on 09011 101 101, 09011 101 101, or you can text us. All you have to do is text studio and your comment to 83188, 83188, or of course email us, bblb@channel4.com. That's bblb@channel4.com. Okie dokes. When they're not on stage or in the studio, today's guests love nothing more than sitting down with a nice cuppa to watch Big Brother. It's Preston and Will from the Ordinary Boys, everybody. Thanks for coming on, boys.
Thanks for having us.
Met you a couple of weeks ago. You said you're big fans. I'm glad to have you on. Your favourite topic of conversation is Big Brother amongst the band. Am I right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you know, it's certainly, you know, an interesting show.
You've been obsessed by it. Who are your favourite housemates?
Well, it's funny because you just said about that phone-in, and it's. I just changed my mind literally every show. This year more than any other year. It's just like you just can't make your mind up.
So who are your favourites to start with?
I quite liked Makosi and Kamal. Now they're my worst ones.
Yeah,
so,
why?
I just think they're just really tedious, aren't they? Just kind of. I think the thing is, it's like you watch a show like this and you're kind of like, well, who's your favourite? Who do you hate? And you know, you kind of have to pick a favourite. But I quite hate most of the people in there now. Which is like, yeah, it's just I don't. But I suppose Maxwell's my favourite.
What about you, Will?
I don't know, I mean, I've sort of got a soft spot for Craig just because he's kind of innocent, you know. I don't think he quite knows what's going on. And like then, he was sort of heartbroken, you know. You've got to feel bad for him.
Yeah. Like, as you said, like, you know, your feelings towards these people change on a daily basis, and I think that's been the highlight of this series. But who would you least like to be cooped up with on tour?
Vanessa.
As soon as you're on tour now, bear in mind you travel from place to place in the bus. Vanessa, what?
Or Derek. The thing about Derek, I think, he kind of lectures and everything, but he's really kind of pseudo intelligent. He thinks he's so intelligent, and he's just not.
Derek doesn't do it for you.
He fits the bill of a Tory speechwriter perfectly, so you can't string a sentence together.
Yeah. Were you surprised to see Maxwell and Science up for eviction this week, then?
I think Maxwell, the thing is, that everyone goes in the house and they say, you know, people come out and they say, well, what do you think? Why were you a good housemate? And they say, oh, yeah, I was just myself. That's what everyone says, don't they? And but I think he really is. He could make everyone like him in there if he wanted them to. But he's just like, he's perfectly happy, kind of just saying what he thinks.
Science
has just been like a recluse for the whole time.
Science is, yeah, exactly. Science
just sort of floats around.
Exactly the same,
but I have my days when I like Science a lot, and I think that the relationship between Derek and Science is really interesting because they're like. They always go in the diary room. They say they hate each other, and Derek's kind of going, he's odious, that boy, and all this. But they have a bit of a kind of a nice relationship. They sit down sometimes, and Derek's kind of, Science, what are you going to do with your life?
Yeah,
you're a talented young boy.
Yeah,
and Science kind of gets a bit sort of somber, and he's.
But you're all right about Science, though. And Science sort of. 1 minute really, really impresses you, and then suddenly he just. It's just a baby sometimes, isn't he? He's just like it was. Last night when he was having this massive argument about how he always looked after everyone in the house. He was having the argument with Orla, and then in between the argument he was kind of saying, I want my butter, my bread buttered on both sides and everything. It's just when's Orla going to tell everyone that her name's Orla, not Ola? And when she went in, Vanessa goes, oh, Ola. Yeah, that's a traditional African name. And she correct us. Brilliant.
She just didn't say anything.
Okay, we're going to talk about them right now. Historically, new housemates have been prime targets for immediate eviction, but Orla and Eugene survived this week. Let's take a look at them in action.
I don't understand this with washing machines. Virtually everything I've got is like, a D-wash at 40 Celsius.
I hope the sand doesn't dry out and start blowing in everyone's eyes.
Jeez.
If ever I've seen anything uncomfortable in my life, it's standing like that.
$1 million!
With a name like Eugene, you've got to be like him.
A geek?
Like a geek.
What do you think of us?
Not much, really. I'm the winner. One of the girls is the winner.
That was such a mistake for her to say that, because she was saying, Maxwell thinks he's going to win, I'm the winner, and then she realised what she said. One of the girls is the winner. What do you make of Orla and Eugene? Do you think
like Orla, she's one of them, she's like a real cliched Big Brother housemate, but normally they don't, you kind of have this idea of what a real cliched housemate is, and I think Kinga fitted the bill perfectly as the kind of, the most kind of horrendous, like sort of, what you imagine a Big Brother contestant to be like.
With her timeless opening quote.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And Orla's kind of similar to that, and I think, she really wants to win, and she went in there and immediately, her first tactic was like, who's sort of slagging off who, and she kind of got in there and kind of
playing it well.
Would say to Makosi things about Kamal and vice versa.
Sure. What about Eugene? Got 2 nominations this week.
I love Eugene's brilliant.
One from Orla. He got another nomination from Vanessa for being boring.
Exactly. But he is, he's horrendously boring. He's massively boring. I mean, it's true. I mean, Vanessa's worse, but he's like, it was that one where he goes like, have I told you a story about when I did my first aid course? And everyone was like, no. And he just kind of basically said he did a first aid course with no kind of punchline or anything. He just kind of reels off.
It's more of a factual thing, really.
Yeah. Okay, lastly, who do you think will go this week?
Science.
Yeah, Science, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
By a landslide, or?
Yeah, I think it'll be quite close, because I think Maxwell is one of those people who sort of polarise his opinion.
Sure.
Like, some people love him, some people hate him, but I think Science has sort of got hate across the board as far as I can tell.
Brilliant. Boys, thanks for coming in. Really
thanks
appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
It's the cool BBLB later on as well. After the break, we reveal the truth behind the housemate's toes, and Saskia discovers if she knows Max well or not. But first, it's time for another...
Anecdote of the day. Where my father lived, they had a lift, when we were in Walnut Creek, and it had an on-off switch. So I thought, I wonder. So I switched it off, and it stopped. I switched it on again, and didn't do anything. I pushed the floor onto go to, and it carried on onto that floor.
Eugene, I seriously think you should consider stand-up comedy.
I was just about to say stand-up comedian.
Let's just put it this way. I think I'm better suited to stand-up comedy than jumping down up and down in a lift comedy.
True.
OK, welcome back. It's day 41. It's 5:42. Coming up, we test Saskia on how well she knows her man. That's amazing. Long 40-old days, you know. But first, what's been frequently sucked, massaged and discussed in the house over the last 6 weeks? No, we're not talking about all those boobs and talking feet. With all that footsie action, what can those tootsies little tell us? Here to reveal us all is foot reading expert Jane Sheehan, everybody. Love to have you with us. Hello, Jane.
Hi, Dermot.
Nice to see you. OK, so first of all, what sort of information can foot reading give us?
Can tell you all about your personality and what
Lovely.
was going on in the past and what's happening in the present.
Are you serious about the past?
Serious.
Because
yeah.
I've had reflexology and I get the fact that sort of my second toe is related to my brain or something like that, but they can actually tell me more about my personality?
Totally. Tell me about your feet.
Well, I've got big, ugly, Shrek-like feet.
I don't believe it.
No, it's true. There's only one word for them. What would that tell us?
That means you're really hardworking, always on the go, have to be doing something. If I could make you a cup of tea, you'll be getting the cups out of the cupboard.
Do you know, you're exactly right. It's like you've read my mind and my feet all in one. OK, here's a sketch. We're going to... we've got 3 different housemates' feet for you. You have to tell us the characteristics of the feet and then guess whose feet belong to who, OK?
OK.
Housemate A.
Now,
take it away.
So you've got the 5th toe on top of the 4th toe.
They're inbred.
Well, possibly, but I'm not saying that.
OK.
This means that this person is extremely materialistic and has been brought up under the misconception that the only way you get security is through the objects, materialism.
Why is that? What does that tell you that?
This toe is to do with security, and instead of it being grounded, it's through the 4th toe on the right foot, which represents a love of objects.
Right, OK, good. So, so they're materialistic in
Yeah.
terms of the fact that, you know, they like the money or whatever, and that defines success for them. What about the sole?
Now, on the sole, you've got some hard skin here underneath the 4th toe and here underneath the 2nd toe, which means that they're trying to protect themselves emotionally. And if I had to guess why, it's to do with a relationship.
Right.
Okay.
But in terms of the 4th toe and the 2nd toe, what does the 2nd toe tell us?
2nd toe is your emotions and 4th toe is your relationships and your family and communication. Now, this bit here...
Is that the right foot we're looking at there?
Right foot, which represents the past or male influence.
Right.
And I've just noticed this gap here.
Yeah.
He didn't enjoy his job.
Oh! Of course he didn't. Why does that seriously, why does that tell us that?
Anything where there's a gap is a delayed reaction. So he's separating his emotions from what he's doing in order to get through it.
Lovely.
So it's good on a doctor. It's not so good if you're doing a different kind of job where you don't need that skill.
No, sure. OK, take a guess.
I say this is Anthony, because the other day on Big Brother, he was pretending to be one of those Miss World characters, and he was saying, I like a Ferrari, and I'm so shallow, and I think this comes back to the materialism thing.
See if you're right. Good, isn't it?
Great.
OK, housemate 2, come with me.
OK. Now...
Oh, that's an ugly-looking foot.
This is really interesting, this foot. You've got all sorts going on here. First off, he's posing the foot like a ballet dancer.
Right.
So I'm thinking someone here who is quite effeminate, quite diplomatic in the way he says things, a bit insecure because he's got bits of the toe look like he's been chewing his own toenails.
A bit insecure? That's psychotic.
Now, he's also got quite a high arch. And I'm thinking that he's quite independent, strong inner resources, and a big thinker. You've got big toe pads.
Enormous, big bulbous toes. I've got similar toes to that.
But you see, the little toe here is completely different to the one on Anthony's feet. It's separate. So when this person's bored, they become really destructive.
OK, who is it?
I'd have to guess here, but I'm thinking Craig.
See if you're right.
No!
Wow!
No!
Yes!
No.
Yes, it's Kamal, I'm sorry.
No!
Lastly.
That That has
She's
shocked me.
mortified.
I am
Look,
shocked.
OK, we've only got 30 seconds on this last one. This is a pretty foot.
See, I thought this was Kamal because look at these toes here. They're extremely manipulative. You see the lines across here?
Right, is that what that tells
Whereas those toes weren't at all. So
Okay.
that means Kamal's not manipulative.
Okay.
So I've got him all wrong.
Lovely.
OK, so this person's really manipulative, needs protection from being oversensitive.
What's that, because it's hairy?
Hairy toe on
right,
the big
lovely.
toe, OK? Big gap here between the big toe and the second toe is delayed reactions emotionally. And this eczema is bubbling
Disgusting.
up irritation. People are really getting under his skin and he's feeling it, but he's not releasing it, so he's the sulky type.
Come on, take a guess.
Really don't know. It's Craig or Eugene.
Got to be one.
Craig?
It is Craig!
Great.
She redeems herself. Jane, everybody, well done. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
OK, Max and the Science are up for eviction this week, but who do you want to go? Here's how to vote. To evict Maxwell, dial 09016 16 16 08. Or text Maxwell to 64404. To evict Science, dial 09016 16 16 12. Or text Science to 64404. Saskia's back with us, everybody. Hello, Saskia. Looking lovely today. OK, you and Maxwell clearly became close in the house, but how much did you actually learn about him? To find out, we're going to play a game of How Do You Know Max Well?
Right, okay.
Do you know Maxwell? Let's say hello to Maxwell. Let's see how he is, everybody. Hello, Maxwell. Oh, hello, What's that? Arsenal are brilliant. Yes, he's right. Lovely. OK. OK, we've got 5 questions. You have to get 3 out of 5, OK?
Right, all right.
This is about your boy. OK. Here's your first question. What book was Maxwell reading whilst he was in hiding? Was it A, The Da Vinci Code, B, 1984, or C, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban?
B.
Oh, she was straight in there. It's aggressive. Let's take a look and see if you're right.
We're actually reading a book called 1984 in a minute. It's all about Big Brother. And it's boring me, so I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not, but I'll give it a crack and who knows.
She was right, which means...
beauty!
Beauty indeed, one kiss down. And he still didn't realise what was going on when he was in room 101, so obviously he didn't read it that well. OK, here's your second question. Maxwell only took 2 pairs of pants into the house. How many pairs did he have confiscated? A2, B5, C10.
C10. No, actually, I'm lying. B5.
Oh, she's right! B5, and we've got him here with us. There we go.
Thank you.
Beauty! You can keep hold of them. There we go. Another kiss there. Wonderful. OK, question 3. Before going into the house, Maxwell said he wanted to change the shopping list to spend £84 on what? A, lager, B, sausages, or C, crisps?
A lager.
Take a look, see if you're right.
Wipe the lot off. £84, sausages.
Sausages. You didn't get it right, which means...
I'll leave it out.
I'll leave it out. OK, here's your next question. On his application form, which of these titles was not on Maxwell's list of favourite magazines?
Right.
Was it A, Nuts, B, Razzle, or C, 40 Plus?
C40+.
Let's take a look. You wish. He doesn't buy Nuts, but he buys Razzle and 40 Plus.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, I'll tell you what he should do.
I'll leave it out.
He should leave it out. Which means you've got to get this one right, OK, to get your lovely prize. OK, before Maxwell went into the house, what did he say was off the hook? His singing, his body, or his cooking?
See, oh.
Tricky, innit?
I think cooking, but he'd say his body just for a joke, wouldn't he? Cooking. Oh,
Let's see if you're right.
Cooking is off the hook.
Not bad.
Cooking is off the hook, which means 3 out of 5. Beauty indeed. Which means, for you, we have this, what I can only describe as beautiful, if you're setting up home together, crockery set of Maxwell and Saskia mugs, everybody. Look at them, they're lovely. They are lovely. And hang on, look, we've got a little food plate mat there as well. Oh! Do you know what it is, everyone? It's gorgeous. Wonderful. There you go.
Thank you very
Saskia,
much.
everybody. Wonderful. OK, today's cool BBLB is which housemate have you changed your mind most about and why? The Ordinary Boys are still with us. Come in, boys. Will Preston. And lovely Saskia. Let's go straight to the phones. Joe in Lincolnshire first. Hello, Joe.
Hi there.
How are you doing? All right?
Yes, are you?
Who have you changed your mind most about and why, Joe?
Definitely Orla.
Why?
Well, in the secret garden, she seemed really nice, but now in the house, she's a really dirty little girl who's completely lowered her standards and totally obsessed with her own boobs.
Oh. Where do I go from here? Over to you.
I agree. I'm joking. No, I think she's a nice enough girl. I mean, obviously, if I had a body like that, you know, she's got a lovely body. I mean, I'd show it off, but...
She does show it off
She
a lot.
does show it off a
doesn't
bit much. Yeah, she does.
They're showing it off and they're showing it off.
There is. I mean, she's going for it. She's working it, isn't she?
Yeah, OK. But do you not... I mean, you guys have said she's the classic kind of stand-in house.
Yeah, I never liked her in the first place. I don't know. She really does my head in, actually.
You didn't even like her in the secret garden?
Like, do you know, she's got a nice body, but you've got to have a nice face to match. I just think she's got a dodgy bit. Do you know what I mean?
Preston, when they said, when we booked you, and I met you a couple of weeks ago, and they said, come on, and they said, well, you have a lot to say? I was like, oh, yeah, I'll have a lot to say, right? And I was right. Next up, Gary in Crawley. Hello, Gary.
How you doing, mate? You
How you doing? All right. Go for
not too bad. Well, I've changed my mind on Kamal. You know, at the beginning he was fabulous and funny, but as the show's just gone on, he's really vicious and catty now.
Do you think he's a bit what?
Catty.
A bit catty, yeah.
Yeah, really vicious. And...
Has he always been catty, or...?
Yeah, I think he has. I mean, I think he's coming out more so now. You know, there's a big divide in the group. And I think it's boredom. To tell you the truth, I think boredom's just making them bitch a hell of a lot more than what they did before.
I think when you do have a divide, like that sort of Lord of the Flies divide, I mean, it just makes you have to bitch about everyone else because that's kind of what keeps your camp alive, doesn't it?
I mean, from our point of view, you see Kamal and you just think, oh, I'm sure he'd be quite funny to live with, but does it get a bit too much sometimes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it does get boring. I mean, it's the same thing all the time, you know, and I think he's lost... A lot of people have lost respect for him compared to in the beginning. In the beginning, I think he's a big favourite. You know, everyone loved him. He's starting to wear thin with everyone now. OK, one last call, I think. Nicola in Newcastle. Hello.
Hello.
Go for it, Nicola.
McCorsty. She did really, really well in the beginning. Loved the tasks, the secret tasks. Was very funny. But now she tells so many lies that I think she believes in herself. She's so two-faced. Well off her. She needs to go.
You've had enough. Do you not think everyone's saying Makosi could win? You don't think Makosi could win, no?
Never going to happen.
Oh, OK, thank you very much. OK, that's pretty much all we've got time for. Thanks to Saskia, Preston, Will and Jane, everybody. Russell Brand is back with Big Brother's Big Mouth, 7:30 for main show tonight, 10 o'clock, Channel 4. We're back tomorrow at 5:25. We'll see you then. Take care.